Hello everyone, and welcome to the Game Week 18 preview video. We're going to go over the team set for the last game week of the first half. Actually, no, the second last game week of the first half of the season. If you're new here, please like and subscribe to the video, helping the channel grow. I'd really appreciate that. And we'll dive right into what this team's going to look like. The transfer I've made has already been done, and we'll go through a list of 5 more players that I think would be good to bring in for this week. So without further ado, we're going to start as per usual in net. Provedel. We'll get the game against Empoli. Now, generally, I'd say that this has the potential for a clean sheet, and it's not that it doesn't, but Empoli has been in pretty good form. I believe if I remember correctly, they beat Napoli 1-0 last week, and they've just won their Coppa Italia fixture against Hellas Verona 4-3, I believe was the final score there today. So this is being shot Wednesday. I do intend on having it up today. And so normally Empoli, I'd feel confident in for a win, potential clean sheet. We'll see if Spezia can pull that out this week. Going into the defense, it's going to look the exact same as last week. We got Karsdorp against Atalanta, tough clean sheet to gather, so I'm not expecting huge numbers there. And same with Mario Rui facing AC Milan, hoping that he's able to play through whatever flag this is for. I tried looking up stuff on it. I couldn't really find anything. If you know why Mario Rui has the flag right now, please drop a comment below and let me know. And as far as the total time length of whatever it is, that would be appreciated. Juve against Bologna, I mean, should be a good opportunity for a clean sheet, but the way things are going, nothing's for sure with Juve right now. So that is there, but obviously I can't sit on. And then we got Hisai for Lazio against Genoa. Again, another potential clean sheet for sure. That is going to be our first game of the game week on Friday. We have then coming in from there, Inter Milan facing Salernitana. Barella is going to get back in. Unfortunately, sat those 9 points that he got last week, but definitely playing him for this fixture, hoping that he can repeat that, if not do better, but that'll be tough, a big expectation. And the other Inter player that I have is Lautaro Martinez. Now, this is complicated because he just came off of a fantastic game, unfortunately missing a penalty. And ideally, I want to captain him. I think it makes a lot of sense. The only thing is he did just play, and I think he got some time the game before that too. So he might be in rotation. And a captain is not someone that I want to come in the 60th minute. So I'm kind of trying to think through this. Is this the greatest idea to captain Lautaro Martinez? Is Inter going to sit him after he just scored 2 goals in the game? He's in form. So I'd like to think that he's going to get the start. But they could very well just throw Dzeko and Correa up front and give Lautaro Martinez a break. So I'm going to be following this situation. I think regardless, I will play Lautaro Martinez. It just might come down to whether I actually cap him or not, if I get the vibe that he'll be starting or not. Vice captain is going to be Kandreva, who has been excellent this season so far, ever since I picked him up especially. And he's going to take my vice captaincy this week against Venezia. I don't see why he can't get at least an assist or a goal in this game. I'm going to have Quadrado play in the midfield against Bologna. Why not start him? He gets pretty forward for a midfielder. And he's cheap to have on the team, which is nice as well. So I'll be playing him, one of the brighter spots of Juve this year, I'd say. Obviously, we have Vlahovic up front, has scored every single week I've had him. I think it's 4 or 5 weeks in a row now. This will be the first of 4 weeks in a row that he will not be my captain, facing Sassuolo, tougher team than he's been playing recently. So I don't want to give him the armband, but I don't see why he can't score in this game as well. And finally, the transfer in this week, Berardi. I transferred him in for Dybala. Absolutely horrible decision to bring in Dybala last week. And I'm thinking that was probably the last time I'm going to do it. And then I say that now. We'll see what happens. But Berardi had a good week last week. He made the team of the week. And so I brought him in immediately after the game week because, one, I knew Dybala is going to start going down with that injury and Berardi is going to go up having such a good week. So I wanted to protect that value, maybe even increase in value. And that's why I brought Berardi in already, right? And he will be in my squad against Fiorentina this week. On the bench, we have Pastelic, Cambiaso, and Leao being injured. Pasalic and Cambiaso have tougher fixtures, and that's why they see the bench. Hopefully, Pasalic doesn't make me regret this decision and score big points. Or if he does, I hope someone doesn't play. Maybe Mario Rui wouldn't play, and then I'd get his points anyway. We'll see. But that's the way that's shaking up. Now, one thing I wanted to address based on transfers, I brought him in specifically to protect value, and I knew I'd be moving Dybala out. And Sassuolo's the Berardi's the player that I want to bring in. So that's why I did it quickly. As we've been able to see in the news, especially in the Premier League, we have a lot of games being postponed. I really suggest holding that transfer as long as you can before the deadline to make sure that you don't bring in a player who gets a game canceled. Hasn't really affected Serie A quite yet, I don't think. I don't think we've had any cancellations. But in case that does start happening here, I would hold your transfer as long as possible. So then you don't transfer someone in that doesn't even end up having a game in the game week. So just a little tidbit of a suggestion for strategy right there. But other than that, that's my team. And we're going to go on I've already explained the transfer. Sassuolo is a team that has a huge run of good fixtures coming up. Let me just kind of list out the teams that they have coming up. They face Fiorentina this upcoming week. This will be the hardest fixture probably out of the next 7 games, because after that they have Bologna, Genoa, Empoli, Hellas Verona, Torino, and Sampdoria before they get some tougher games again. So I think Sassuolo players are a good team to be picking from right now. And that is why we're going to dive right into the top 5 for this week. Starting the top 5, I'm going to just go with Berardi right there. I think that he's been in great form, been scoring lots of points in fantasy wise, and he's got the fixtures coming up. So I'm going to say Berardi is going to be number 1. I think I have to go with Vlahovic for number 2. I know he's making the list every time, but he just keeps delivering every single game. Fiorentina still has some good fixtures around. Who have we got here? They got Sassuolo, Hellas Verona, Udinese, Torino, Genoa, and Cagliari. They do have Lazio, then they got Spezia right after that. So they have a lot of good fixtures still. If you bring in Vlahovic, you probably, barring an injury, knock on wood, you will not be subbing him out of your team, and he will be starting for you every week for a long time to come in a long of games where it would make sense to have him captained. Player number 3, I'm going to go with Immobile. The guy just scores every game still. I've been trying to kind of think of a way to get him back in. I don't know if I'm going to do that because I do not want to get rid of Lautaro Martinez or Vlahovic right now, and Leao doesn't cost enough to go up to him. But if I look, Inter's run of good fixtures ends in 3 weeks. That's probably when I'll go Lautaro back to Immobile if I have the funds to do so. So that's kind of a game plan for me right now, is after the good run of fixtures, drop Lautaro Martinez, bring in Immobile, and we'll go from there. Okay, so that was number 3. Number 4, I think I have to go with Scamacca. He's playing top of the Sassuolo attack. So in between Berardi and Raspadori, you could take the chance on Raspadori too, especially if you have less funds, because we got a 0.5 difference here. I'd probably go with Scamacca though. It seems like he's playing every single game. Raspadori gets injured sometimes, and he's front and center. He's got a good chance of laying a ball off to Berardi, or getting a ball and finishing it himself. So I think that would be a good call right now. And the last one on the top 5 list for me for bringing in this week is Candreva. Candreva has been doing excellent every single week. Sampdoria has a decent run of fixtures coming up kind of every other week right now. They got Venezia, they got Roma, that's tougher, Cagliari, then Napoli's tougher, and then you got 3 decent ones in a row, Torino, Spezia, and Sassuolo. And Candreva's been scoring points against tougher teams too. So especially at his price tag of some of these players, that's what I'd be considering. Good return for the price, and then you can spend that money on big players elsewhere. But that's what I'm thinking this week. Let me know what you think. Would you have added someone else or not added any of the players that I saw? How's your team lining up, and how you're doing in the league? Let me know with a comment, and please subscribe. Thanks and take care.